All right, everybody, you know what time it is. Here we are, live from the SydFIT studios in the K-Dub. It's the Syd and Sonya show. I want to do like the, how does Elvis, you know, he closes a show. What would he do? How does Elvis close a show again?
I don't know.
Oh, really? Oh, he's like, oh, and I went to the Elvis thing. Next time you come back, I'm going to do the Elvis thing.
I'm going to look it up for you. And
look it up.
Okay, I'll look it up for you. I'll look it up for you.
All right.
I can do that. I have the Googler. Okay. Sorry, guys. I know I'm really close to the screen.
Oh, we got a special guest.
Special guest.
Blowing up.
Pop.
Boom.
Okay, do you know what I saw, though? I saw this last post today of basically stating, I assume that that's what I think you're talking about.
Talking about it all.
Okay, so I saw a post from Tyson today quoting that he's like, I'm out to take this person off the internet. Ooh. To cut their boxing career. It's done. I'm going to show everybody I'm over this. We're good friends, we talk, I respect him as a person, but not in this world.
Okay.
So I'm kind of a big fan of that. So I cross fingers. I
hear something. What?
I do hear something.
No, there's no one there.
Oh, I think it's maybe because, no, I don't know what
all right, so obviously Sonya is talking about the Mike Tyson fight with, what's our YouTuber's friend again? His name is, what's her friend's name? Jake Paul. Yeah.
I don't know why you make me say these things. Did you see the video I sent you?
Oh, I did see it. Yes. On Netflix. Now, how cool is that? Now, come on now.
I do like that it's going to be on Netflix because, who doesn't have Netflix these days, right?
Massive.
Everybody has
Even
Netflix.
my kids are talking about,
you gonna see me?
Are we going to watch the fight?
We cannot see you.
Of course we're going to watch the fight.
I don't know why we can't see you. I know, I can hear him too, but I can't see him. See.
Let's see why. Maybe. I love talking to people. I like seeing people.
I know, I like seeing
But we can hear them, though, right?
We can definitely hear. Are you still there, Ryan? Oh.
Did he go up? Maybe he's go.
Oh, here we go. Maybe we can accept. We have Mr. Lance Campbell would like to request to join us as well. There we go.
Yeah, so again, big fight there. And
there we go. There we are.
There we go.
It's afternoon. It's morning for you.
Yeah, 10:30.
Yeah, it's morning for you.
Yeah, late afternoon for me.
Oh, thank you, Maureen. Maureen was saying they could see you still. It was just us. We were the only ones missing out.
Oh, they can see him.
They can.
Awesome.
But now we can.
Nice.
So it's a win-win. This is crooked and I don't like it.
He's our guest, our special guest.
Oh, come on. You do the best announcements.
Oh, right. Go ahead.
Guys, today's special guest is the one, the only, Ryan. Now, is it the real deal or just real deal?
The real deal.
The real deal for joining us all the way from out west today in Calgary.
Edmonton.
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 Yeah.
Not Calgary.
No, it's not Calgary.
No.
I've heard it's cleaner. I don't know.
So I gotta say, I met Ryan, I think 2 years. All right, he doesn't know it, but when we went to Poland, maybe 4 years ago, he fought 1 or 2 days after we were in Poland with the amateurs, but we didn't get to meet then. But I was out to Calgary and then drove to Edmonton to work in the gym where Ryan is, and his moniker is The Real Deal.
Yeah.
And real knows real. And from the second I met this guy, I knew he was he's the real deal. And it was an honor to get him. He was so kind, so gracious, and yeah, man. So thank you for coming on. And you're the real deal.
Thank you guys for having me.
No, for sure. And again, we'll talk about his boxing career. And here's the thing with Ryan: he doesn't turn down an opportunity.
Never.
He will
Never.
fly. Go wherever for an opportunity to get in the ring. And, I love hearing him talk about, again, he just talks real talk. People want to challenge him or get in the ring with him, and he's like, listen, they don't have the skills, they don't have the abilities, because I've done the work. So it's amazing.
And it's true. And if you follow him, he will show you. He's putting in the work. And you can watch when there's fights coming up, and there are those people who are out there talking the smack. You can watch Ryan, and he's on point
Yeah.
throughout the whole process, and then he gets in that ring, or, I mean,
Octagon, the ring.
whichever you want,
It makes
and
dollars, it makes sense.
right?
Mhm.
But it's always a good show, and watching Ryan fight is always entertaining.
So, Ryan, let's talk about your amateur career. Like, and I don't know if you were a wrestler first or what you did. So, let's talk about your amateur career in terms of which came first. Like, was it amateur boxing? What came first?
Yeah, actually, well, obviously you guys know my dad, Al Ford, Canadian lightweight champion, ranked number 3 in the world. So I was born in '82. So my mom got to watch a lot of my dad's fights, and he had a few of them that were 15 rounders. So obviously, growing up, my mom was like, "You guys are not fighting," because she saw back in the day it was different,
Yeah,
And so I actually, my dad trained us a little bit when we were younger, but we never ever got to compete. I was, rough young kid. Didn't, I would get into fights always at school. And then I actually had my first amateur boxing fight, I believe was like 2015. I only had 3 of them.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah. So it was like, I went to my dad one day and I'm like, Dad, I want to fight. And he's like, okay, we should train. I'm like, no, Dad, I'm fighting in 2 weeks. And he's like, what? Just an athlete, right? So I was like, you know what? I can get in here. I can do this, right? And, it's funny because I lost, actually, no, I only had 2 amateur boxing fights, and I actually lost both of them.
Okay.
The first one I lost, I wasn't ready. It was just, I wanted to fight, it was in me, right? So, I lost a decision on that one. And then the second fight that I fought, I actually tore my knee in the first round. So I fought 2.5 rounds pretty much on a torn ACL. And yeah, it was, I lost that one too, but hey, I got in there, right? It was what it is. And, here I am today, 60 professional fights, mixed martial arts.
So you lose your first 2 amateur fights, and then you're like, I still want to do this, and I think I want to do it at the next level, which is professional. Like,
Where does that come from?
Where did that come from?
Yeah. So after my second amateur boxing fight, I kind of got in a little bit of trouble, and I ended up going away for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And it made me sit there and think, what is it that I wanted to do in my life, and obviously being where I wasn't one of them. So, this is when The Ultimate Fighter first came on TV show, The Ultimate Fighter show.
Yeah.
It was
I remember.
the first ones with like Pete Spratt, like Diego Sanchez, all these guys. And, I was sitting there watching this on a little 14-inch TV, and I was like, man, I'm like, I did these boxing fights. I'm like, but I think this is more around what I got to do. I can be wild. You can do everything, right? So
I'm proud of it.
yes, the hammer fist, the elbows. I'm like, man, this is something I could get into. So I actually was training the whole time that I was there. Just I got a job in the gym and whatnot. Stay out of trouble and just do my time and get out as fast as I can. And as soon as I got out, I actually messaged the promoter that actually did the boxing fights. And he was like, oh, I'm not doing boxing anymore. We're doing mixed martial arts. And I was like, perfect. This is what I want to do. So trained for 2 weeks and fought my first pro MMA fight and won by knockout in the second round.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
I'm super interested.
I'm like,
Because, all right, so what was from what I understand, you have to have some sort of grappling background. You can't just roll in there and so did you have some sort of grappling background?
Yeah, so junior high, I was actually 3-time city champion in wrestling.
Okay.
I went to the Alberta Summer Games and I got silver against a kid who was like wrestling 10 years before me.
Okay.
But, so I had the wrestling background, and so I knew how to wrestle, but I had zero jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, somebody threw you in the choke. You were like, I don't know.
I do, and that's the thing is, if you look at my mixed martial arts record, I've only gone to decision a couple times and lost by submission, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but it
have
was.
You have you ever won by submission?
Oh, I think half of my wins are by submission.
Oh,
Half by
all right.
submission, half by knockout. Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
that was the thing with
And
me.
what's your?
It was like, if you give me your back, I'm gonna choke you out.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
I want to learn
I
that.
think I
Can
know
we
what
learn
we're.
that
I think I know
today?
what we're learning
Can I
today.
choke? Can you teach me how to choke and sit
Oh,
today?
no problem.
I'm just gonna practice
Oh my
every
gosh.
time I step to a seat up.
All right. Well, that's a good point. So, because I
like
know there's certain some people don't tap. They're like, yo, I'm just gonna take the nap. Do you tap or do you take the nap in a
Yeah,
fight?
it's funny because we always say we're not gonna tap,
Right?
you know,
Yeah.
but
Where you're like,
for the submissions having to do with arm bars and stuff. Well, I'm not trying to be the tough guy. Like, I'm tapping
Yeah,
because I'm letting you break my arm,
yeah.
yeah.
right? I thought one time, I was getting choked, that I was like, okay, maybe I'm gonna do this. And it gets to that point when you're about to go and you're like, no, 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 it's not happening.
Uh,
So
yeah,
yeah, so I will tap,
yeah,
I'll tap.
yeah. If it's checkmate, it's checkmate. Like, yo, I'm not. Yeah.
I'm not getting out of this. You know what? Why do I have to go to sleep? Like, you got me.
You got to do a point.
Yeah. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So, okay, so how about kicking? Do you have any experience with kicking?
No, like my uncle, actually, back when I was younger as well, he did some kickboxing and stuff. So he showed us a little bit of the kickboxing, but it was like, it was just the thing with me. It was just I was an athlete, so whatever I dedicated myself to, didn't matter what sport it was. I always got good because I'm like, I do this, I go 100, or I don't go at all, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
so that's the thing is, I went to gyms, and I went to a couple of the Muay Thai coaches and kickboxing coaches, and they're like, "Man, you're very athletic. You just need to tweak a little bit of your movements of the kicks, and it'll make it that much better." So, you know what? I practiced that, and it's turned out good. I got a knockout, I believe. I won the World Series Canadian fighting title
yeah.
by knockout by head kick. So. Yeah, so guys had to be worried about everything now, not just the hands, the feet, the knees.
Nice,
I like
nice,
that.
nice. Good.
I like that. Oh,
Go ahead.
I need to know which do you prefer more? The like UFC MMA side or the boxing side?
Can I answer that? I think
Actually,
I think I know the answer.
Okay.
Whatever pays better, baby.
you know it makes dollars, it makes sense.
The exact same for either or.
You know what? It's people ask me that all the time. Which one do I like more? For me, like, I'm a fighter at heart. I love fighting. So boxing and mixed martial arts, those are two totally different worlds of sports. The one thing that I do like more about MMA compared to boxing is you can be a little bit more ruthless. You can
Yeah,
be a
yeah,
little bit more wild. You can do these things, whereas boxing, it's a chess match, right? You can't
yeah,
do these wild things because the guys who have that experience will capitalize real quick on you
yeah.
throwing a lazy jab, bringing it down, or overcommitting on the right hand. Like, the boxing specifics and skill with the hands is so much more different than boxing in MMA.
And that's a great because
Yeah.
because I've never done. I mean, I've done some workshops and seminars with MMA, but I've never competed in it. And so when you say it's two different worlds, break that down because I mean, I know a lot of people watch
Yeah.
Ngannou versus
Yeah.
Joshua,
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, so how is the different world? Like, give me some of the breakdown of like how it's so much different. Because there
Well,
are people who are like, oh, he's a world champion in UFC. Like that transfers over into getting in the ring and doing boxing, and you're like, no, 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 no,
no,
no, no, no. Like,
it doesn't. Like, and at the end of the day, I can contest to this because I fought at the highest level in both of the sports. So, I always looked at it as in, the training hours that you can put in.
mhm,
So with boxing, you have one skill set that you will go into the gym every day and rep certain things every single day. Like you walk into the gym, first thing you do when you warm up for boxing, you skip
Yeah.
and you shadow box
Yeah.
every single day. You do the same thing in MMA like that as well, but you don't you can't focus on one thing. Whereas boxing, we're focusing on our boxing. Whereas mixed martial arts in the day, you got to focus on boxing, you got to focus on wrestling, you got to focus on Muay Thai, you got to focus on Jiu-Jitsu. So you have all of these combat sports and martial arts that you have to put into one day. You cannot become great at everything. You can become good at everything, great at one thing, whereas boxing, every day you're doing the same thing so you can be great at it because that's where all those hours are going to. Whereas mixed martial arts, there's so many different disciplines you got to add in one day that you cannot be the great. If you even look at the UFC, the champions, they're not all amazing at everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're great at one thing, decent at everything else, right? So it's like you have a black belt jiu-jitsu. Well, if you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu, your ground game's good. Don't even focus on your jiu-jitsu now. You got to work your stand-up. Because I
Yeah.
tell guys, at the end of the day, mixed martial arts, the fights always start standing up.
Yeah.
And if you
So
don't know
yeah,
ground, it's going to be in trouble because most of those fights go to the ground.
yeah, the ground.
That's what I remember Holly Holm. That was her thing, was don't let her, she couldn't get to the ground.
Yeah.
It was never let her get to the ground. It was that starting stand up and just go for it.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
She
And
took that box and was like now or
and the
never.
biggest thing with the training too is it's so taxing on the body. Like, you know, boxing and stuff, it gets repetition. Like when I switched over from MMA to straight boxing, after the first week, I was like, my arms, my shoulders, they're killing me. I never thrown so
Mhm.
much punches, right?
Right.
Whereas in mixed martial arts, you'll wake up one day and you'll be like, oh, your back, like your back, your
Yeah.
knees, from wrestling. The wrestling, like I tell people, the wrestling training in mixed martial arts is the hardest training on your body.
Yeah.
You can't put boxing training and wrestling training as the same type because wrestling training is full on, full body, you know, trying to move another man your size. Like it's different compared to just throwing punches.
Wow. Very
That's
cool.
right.
Very cool. And I didn't know this. So in MMA, when you're preparing, you will train all disciplines on the same day?
Well, you'll probably get in two in one day.
At least two.
So, you know,
Yeah,
at
at least
least
two.
two, right? Like,
Wow.
you know, when I was training in Montreal at TriStar Gym with George St. Pierre, Rory
Of course,
McDonald,
one
those
of the
guys.
best.
And, you know, and like in the morning, it would be grappling at noon, you know, so
Yeah.
for in the morning at noon, you'd grapple for 2 hours. And then I stayed at the dorms, which was right next door to the gym. So, you know, you're at the gym all day, every day. This is what I was doing for my life. Like, you know, this is the thing is these athletes, fighters, combat athletes, it doesn't matter what athlete you're in, a sport you're in, you have to dedicate 100% of time to what you're doing, or don't ever think you're going to be the best because you can't. Because there's guys out there that eat, breathe, live boxing, mixed martial arts, soccer, football, whatever sport it is they do. And it's
Yeah.
like, you know, so we would train our wrestling at noon, then we'd be back at the gym at 7 o'clock at night for Muay Thai or boxing. And then the next day, back at it again, you know, either wrestling training or jujitsu training and then sparring in the evening. So it's like sometimes you're doing 3 times a day, right? You got to put your
Yeah.
conditioning in there
Yeah.
too. So, you know, it's taxing and it's you got to make sure you have the right schedule because your body also needs rest, which I found that out later on in my career. I just thought, you know
Mhm.
what, go, 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 go. And now I'm
Yeah.
like, you know, I'm 42 now. I just turned 42 on last Saturday. And I'm like, recovery is needed just as much as training.
It's very important, absolutely. And obviously, well, not to say obviously, like when I met you, you're not a small man. He's a pretty built dude.
Yeah.
So there's some strength training involved. So you do strength training as well, obviously.
Yes, yes. So try to do at least, you know, depending on when the fight is, or if you're not on fight, like 2 to 3 times a week would be like strength and conditioning, right?
Yeah.
And you know, it's not the gym where people go to the gym and do bicep curls and stuff like that, right? It's more full body workouts where you're conditioning and making the muscle endurance as well, and not just getting that pump. Because I always tell guys, I'm like, go to the gym, go do 5 sets of bicep curls, then come over here and try to hit the pads. You know, or try to go
Yeah.
shoot a basketball. You know, so I tell people that's the exact same thing as when you're wrestling and then you have to go back and fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's getting all that lactic acid build up from like wrestling, trying to move somebody, and then you got to punch, keep your hands up. It
Yeah.
makes it a lot harder.
Be a sloppy noodle.
You know what we say about bicep curls, right?
What do you say for bicep?
Bicep curls are for the girls. But we're not trying to get the girls. We're trying to win titles. You know what I mean?
I mean, I like it.
No, bicep curls, we don't need the bicep curls.
So why do girls do bicep curls?
Why do girls do bicep curls?
I'm curious as to where this is going to go.
No. Bicep curls to impress the
Right,
ladies.
but then if girls are doing bicep curls, what are they doing it for? Are we still doing it to impress other girls?
Well, I can tell you why girls do bicep curls.
Okay.
So I would have them do it because it looks intimidating. All right? It looks intimidating. See?
Fair.
Boom. Got
And,
it.
you know, these days it's all about views, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's all the teenage boys. I believe that a lot of them have that imprinted in, like bicep curls for the girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my son, he's got
so-
curly hair. He always goes, "Dad, curls for the girls."
Curls.
Right?
But the girls, that's
All
right.
right, bro. I'm like, well, no curls here.
I'm still waiting for my photo of Syd with his afro.
Oh my God.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it, and I'm like the saddest person because I haven't seen it.
One day we'll put
Mama
it
B, if you are watching us today, please send me
We
one.
need to see that pro.
That's right.
It's so bad.
So Ryan, tell me what do you have going on right now? Are you training for anything? I know you're also doing some coaching. What do you got going on?
Yeah, well, you know me, I'm always training. You know, it's part of my lifestyle. You know, and people say, "Man, when are you gonna not train?" I'm like, "Well, when do you not go to bed? When do you not eat dinner?" You know, it's part of my life. You know, I wake up in the morning, take the kids to school, I'm in the gym. You know, and I'm training a few fighters, some personal clients, but we also started off the Real Deal Promotions, and we just, you know, we were doing amateur boxing fights for a while. And we had our first fight card, pro fight card, and now we started Real Combat League. So now Real Combat League is a platform where you're going to see many different types of martial art disciplines. So you know, we have boxing, professional boxing. We have professional Muay Thai with 4-ounce gloves. We were the first ones here in Edmonton to do the Muay Thai with 4-ounce gloves. I'm going to be introducing another sport. You guys are going to get it first, actually. So we're going to do Real Combat Boxing. So Real Combat Boxing is going to consist, instead of using 10-ounce gloves, we're going to be using the 4-ounce MMA gloves. And we're going to break it down to 2-minute rounds, but your first fight will be 2 5-minute rounds. So it actually gives it more of a high-paced fight.
Yeah.
You know, 5 rounds, 2 minutes. You know, it's gonna. I think it's gonna be a game changer. You know, a lot of people are loving the bare knuckle. I had 3 guys compete at the BKFC here last weekend or 2 weekends ago.
Yeah.
And the one thing with that is, like, your career is not gonna go long. You know?
Right. Well, I saw Reagan Dow's just signed to do the bare knuckle.
Who?
Yeah, I saw that too.
Reagan Dow, did I not send that to you?
You said that to me, but I didn't.
You didn't.
That's what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, he joined. He's going to
Well,
do
look Austin Trout. He's the champ now.
Yeah.
You know, so like, but the one thing, you know, just from being there live and seeing it, you're not going to fight much if you get hurt, because, like, the thing is with this bare knuckle is, like, when you hit, it hurts. When you get hit, it hurts. So, you know, it's the hurt business. It's the most rarest form of fighting you're going to get is bare knuckle, right? But there was 10 fights here. Every fight, I think one fight went to the 3rd round. Every other fight, knockout in the 1st round. 10 fights, all finishes, right?
Yeah.
Because people don't understand. I told my guys too I said, guys, listen, it is different when you're getting punched with no glove. I said, because you will feel the welt as soon as you get hit. I said,
Yeah.
a 10-ounce boxing glove, man, punch me a few times, I don't feel nothing. I said, you get clipped just once with bare knuckle, you're feeling it, you know? And
Yeah.
one of my guys got away not with a scratch, but the other two guys who had the knockout of the night, which Hassan knocked his guy out with the left hook right hand. But, you know, like his hand's not broken, but he ain't going to be using his right hand for probably 5 weeks. You
Yeah.
know, he had stitches. You know, my other guy, Drew, he went 1 minute, 20 seconds in the first round and ended up with 12 stitches. You know, hand's a little sore. But it's
Yeah.
like you're not leaving those fights without being cut or
Yeah.
hurting your hand.
You're not fighting every 4 weeks.
No,
No.
It's like,
exactly. So that's why I was like, you know what? It's exciting. People like to see the fast-paced fights like that. Real combat boxing, you're going to get that.
I
But guys are going to
like it.
save their hands, and they're going to save from being cut up from knuckles, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to love it because, you know, MMA guys will come over to it. You know, you'll have boxers come over to it
Box is
because,
coming over to it.
right, and because they still do have that padding on the glove. So, our first show is March 30th. It's the Prospect Series, which is an
Yeah.
amateur Muay Thai fight card. So we have about 14 fights on that, and then we're going to announce on Friday, which you guys are going to be the first people to hear it. We're going with Real Combat League Pro Series 1, May 17th. So we will introduce the Real Combat Boxing. We'll have our few professional boxers on there as well as Muay Thai.
You're doing big things.
Right? I
Not
like
messing
that.
around.
I like
You're not
that.
messing around.
I like
Yeah,
that.
you know, well, I've been all around the world, traveled, fighting, you know, seeing different countries, the way they put on fights and what people are attracted to. And obviously being a fighter too, you know, our promotion is a fighter first promotion. You know,
Yes.
I know what fighters want, you know, a lot of like, obviously it's a business, so we want to make money, but it's another point though too is giving the fighters what they need. You know, I was always that fighter that I know what I want when I come to fight, to be comfortable, and you know, so I want to give that platform here for our fighters out of our gym, and fighters from around the world can, you know, showcase their skills and feel comfortable as they're fighting for fighters, not for a
Yeah.
promoter who's never been punched in the face before.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So true. There are not many.
So speaking of giving the fans what they want to see, have you ever seen the slap fighting?
Oh.
All right. And I'm going to ask you, would you ever participate? So have you seen it?
If
Would you
the
participate?
price is right.
No, it
No,
don't make money. It don't make sense.
there is no price for me to stand in front of another man and let him smack me in my face. I I don't see what these guys think of. Like, I don't understand. Like,
And
it's
you see them drop? You see them
Oh, just
drop, bro?
for me it's like watching Dave Chappelle comedy when I watch a slap, because I every time they get slapped I'm dying laughing. I'm like, this guy
Hey,
actually just let this guy
right.
smack him.
Ready? You ready?
no.
Yeah, it's, you know what? It's I think it's really stupid for one, because like
Really is.
honestly, you know, like when people talk about, you know, boxing and mixed martial arts being barbaric and all this stuff, well, they need to understand one thing. At least we have the tools to defend ourselves.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
you're not defending, your hands are behind your back, and you have to stand in a spot and make sure you don't flinch. And if you flinch, you're getting smacked twice for the price of one. That
Like,
is,
Like,
stay down,
everyone's
bro.
standing there like right like this, watching for the perfect fit on, and I'm like, why?
Oh, and the slow
oh
mo.
man, you see the
Oh,
face just
oh,
just
oh,
curdle like.
oh. Yeah.
But I would like to have, I wouldn't mind one of the pillow fight wars. But
Oh,
like,
I've seen this pillow fight.
I was thinking, you know how they were saying, like, you know, it's good for your staff to play dodgeball. You get out some pent up aggression.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like blindfolded pillow fights in the
So you
ring.
don't know who.
So you don't know who you're hitting. Everyone just kind of gets in 3 or 4 at a time, blindfold.
Okay.
You just let it go.
Next staff party.
Okay, you know
Next staff
what?
party.
Everyone's
And
ready to live.
I'm actually like, you guys are getting a lot of releases here for
No
now.
way. You really think? Okay, go ahead.
All
Oh my
right.
God, please.
Okay, so as we're talking about slapping, so I am going to introduce on May 17th as well, slap jitsu. So my friend, I trained with him in Montreal. He's now training in Florida with in Florida, he was in New York with the Danaher Death Squad,
Yeah.
the cream of the crop grapplers. And he actually became the combat jiu-jitsu champion. So
Okay.
so I'm going to be the first one so you heard it here. Anybody hears this? I know you
That's
guys
why you
heard it on this
tune in,
show,
Right?
you know? May 17th, we're going to have the first slap jitsu fight on our card. So it is open hand slaps with jiu-jitsu. So, a lot of people, like, if they've not into grappling and stuff, they kind of think it's boring. They think it's
Yeah.
boring. Guys are stalling, just trying to get that submission. Whereas with slap jitsu, you can't stall. Because if you stall, I'm going to start slapping you. And trust me, you don't want to get slapped. So what are you going to
Yeah.
do? You're going to move and usually opens you up for submission.
Okay.
I see it. I see it. I did.
I like
did.
it.
That's very
You know
interesting.
what? And I started watching and I was like, man, I'm like, this is legit because a lot of people don't like the slow effect of grappling, right? Where guys are
Yeah.
just holding onto the leg. Well, now you think if a guy's holding onto your leg and his face is right there and you start slapping him, he's not going to hold your leg anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think
It's going to speed things up a little bit. It's going to be more fluid. Like, yeah.
that's the thing, right? Like guys aren't going to sit there and try to work on one thing because you get slapped 2 or 3 times. You're moving, unless you like to get slapped.
I mean, remember that one guy? He would probably enjoy it. When we were watching at the Odd the one day,
Oh, yes.
he would have sat there and just
Let them slap you.
yeah, he would have taken it. $20 on that one. Are
you ready?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm not ready.
Okay.
You can go first.
So.
Oh, but I really, please lie.
So
I'm begging you.
at the end of every one of our shows, we do a rapid fire. So we ask our guests, we ask them one question each, and if they lie, Sonya will come over
No.
and choke you out.
Uh-oh. I got a good defense. I got a good choke defense.
So you got to be honest here. We can
I am
ask,
the least threatening
right,
here.
ask about anything. And all right, do you go first?
No.
No?
I'm still thinking today.
Okay.
You already know where my brain is, so
All right.
I need to.
All right, I'm going to say, all right, you are walking out for, it could be a prize fight, it could be MMA. You're walking out. Who is singing you out?
You ask that to everybody.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
I could literally show you like the last
Do it.
second.
Who is singing?
No.
I want to know who's going to sing them out.
You have to ask a better question after.
Okay, and ask another one.
Okay.
I'll give him time. All right, who is singing you out to the cage or to the ring?
Well, we're gonna have to bring him back to life, but I would get DMX to walk me out.
Oh!
That'd be good.
Yeah.
I like that.
You know, he's that guy. When he got the mic, he was hype. He made sure everybody knew he was there.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah.
DMX, definitely.
I like that. Good one. Okay. You can bring any world title to the Real Deal Promotions to your fight night. What is the #1 title that you want fought for on your fight card?
Well, that's easy. The Real Combat League world title.
Nice.
I like that.
You
Okay.
know? We're,
All right.
you know, but if we're talking about big sanctionings in the world right now, you know, obviously, you know, the WBC, the green belt
Yeah.
is a belt
Yeah.
that's, you know, it solidifies, you know, your accomplishments in boxing. You know, I would say that the WBC belt is the one that we would have, but you know what? Yeah, no, but the Real Combat League belts are going to look pretty
Nice.
nice.
Nice. All right. Well, I guess I get to ask you another question.
You asked
All right.
me this question.
So obviously you're a businessman.
Yeah.
You get to talk and sit with any businessman that can be dead or alive for 30 minutes. You get them for 30 minutes to ask them anything and answer your questions. Who would you want to sit with for 30 minutes and
Like
learn?
mentoring for 30 minutes?
You can ask,
Okay,
yeah, oh yeah, for
okay.
sure. Like, yeah.
Oh, I like
you can
that.
ask me, yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Who do you want to sit with for 30 minutes?
Well, I'd have to go with somebody who makes a lot of money.
Not necessarily. Sonya makes a lot of money.
Yeah, but you know, I love everything that he does, but you know, he had a lot to lose and get it back, whereas me, I don't got that much to lose like him. But I would have to say, now let's go with actually no.
That's a good question.
This is a good
I like
question.
it.
Who would I like to sit with if there's anybody?
Oh, I know who I'm going with.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah.
no, there's actually a guy, I watch a lot of his Tim Grover.
Oh, Grover. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He's
Train Kobe,
yeah,
Michael Jordan. Yep.
Jordan, those guys. Yeah, his a lot of his stuff, you know, like even though it's towards like one type of sport, it's actually for life. And you can use
Yeah.
the things that he's saying in everyday life, right? You know, that's yeah, actually, you know what, he would be a good guy that I'd like to, you know, indulge
30
in.
minutes with Tim Grover.
You know, yeah.
Right. All right, we're gonna save that. We're gonna send it to Tim Grover, see if we can make that happen.
I like it. I like it.
Who's yours?
So I kind of have two.
Okay. You only get one.
Well, I have two different points of view, though.
Get one. With your one.
Kutcher Rock. I'm just going to make them into one person then.
Kutcher Rock. Kutcher Rock. Kutcher Rock.
Ashton Kutcher for his tech and his business and all the money he makes on that side. But then I like The Rock for like just...
Because Rock don't make no money. The Rock don't make no money.
It's just like on all the platforms and all the things he's done in his career. Like, how?
You actually remind me a little of The Rock.
Right?
He actually reminds, like,
I've just seen him like,
some of the things that he's doing, though, too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where he came from sport, and now he's doing the football, and he's
the Real
doing,
Deal
like...
clothing line is coming soon to Under Armour.
Yeah,
You
like...
guys heard it here first, too.
That's
We'll
just
get
gonna
that.
be- yeah.
We'll have that conversation, too.
He's gonna do, like, his own tequila, like... Yeah, man, like, the real deal tequila.
Oh, the Real Deal tequila.
Oh yeah.
In the bottle,
Oh, yeah.
it's got to be like in the Real
I'm
Deal
thinking when you
bottle.
say, fine, guess what, May 17th, I'm also...
Yeah, I'm dropping my tequila line.
Oh, awesome, man. Listen, thank you so much for coming on and sharing what's going on. You got so much going on. Listen, a lot behind you, but what's ahead of you it sounds more exciting what's been behind you. And I believe that's the way to live life, man. You know what I mean? Always looking forward. There's always better ahead. And, you know, that's why I said the real deal. Like, the minute I met this guy, I was just like, this guy is the real deal. So, again, much blessing with everything that you're doing. Keep doing all that great work, looking after the fighters. I love the way you did that. You know, we got fighters first. And hopefully I can get out there to one of your events and just show my support, man. Because I believe in you. I believe in what you're doing, man.
Thank you, guys.
It's fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us.
right,
Greatly
Owen.
appreciate it.
Brian
We will,
Ford.
Brian Ford.
Real deal.
Fights, I said March 30th, and then things are coming May 17th.
Yeah.
So check out his Instagram.
Follow
Lots of interesting stuff on his Instagram
Tons
all the
of
time.
fantastic stuff.
Lots going
Love
on.
it. Good
So
times.
that's it, everyone.
Thank you. Have a wonderful Thursday. We will
Thank
see
you
you
guys
guys
very
in
much.
2 weeks.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks,
See ya.
Ryan.
Sure.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Bye.
We're out. I'm gonna choke you out.